Welcome back to the Liberty Ventures podcast, where we celebrate principled business leaders, value creation, and all those entrepreneurs, executives, and investors pushing human flourishing forward. Today, I want to talk about SpaceX and its recent valuation jump to $800 billion and why this isn't just a financial headline and win, including for those investors in the Liberty Ventures network who invested in this through the syndication we did a year and a half ago. This is a cultural moment. It's a proof point for the power of capitalism working at its highest level and a signal to everyone inside the Liberty Ventures network about what's possible when free enterprise tackles big problems with a bold vision. Now, the news is making the rounds. Recent secondary trades and a new round kicking off is putting SpaceX at a valuation of $800 billion, one of the most valuable private companies in history. And what this represents is more than just a scoreboard metric. This is 2 decades of compounding innovation, a radically lower cost to orbit, a world-changing communications network in Starlink, a new pathway for deep space exploration, and the first serious architecture for multi-planetary life. And what's incredibly exciting about this for us at Liberty Ventures is that it is being driven by the principles of capitalism and liberty and a leader who is one of the best representatives of these principles for us. Now, when SpaceX began, Elon Musk believed something that no one else did, that not only should humanity expand to the edges of the solar system, but that we can, and that he was going to build a business that would make that possible. It was rooted in a sense of optimism, freedom, and agency that no one else had. Musk wasn't waiting for NASA to reinvent itself. He didn't look for a consensus. He decided he was going to push ahead. He asked himself, why is it so expensive to reach orbit still? And how do we go back to first principles in order to build a company that can achieve this? And what followed was the first private orbital rocket, the first reusable orbital booster, a total redesign of economics of space, a satellite network that now covers more of the globe than any communications company in history, and the world's most ambitious human spaceflight program since Apollo. It's not an exaggeration to say that SpaceX has done more to expand the frontier than any government agency, than any other actor in at least the last 40 years. So for investors, founders, and executives in the Liberty Ventures network, what I want to emphasize is that this new valuation for SpaceX isn't the headline. It's not just about the returns that anyone who's invested in SpaceX is getting for this. It's a signal that the market rewards innovation and that capitalism is inspiring. SpaceX didn't just optimize for quick wins, short paybacks, or glossy fundraising cycles. It optimized for breakthroughs. And that strategy is now being priced in. It means that frontier industries can be investable. In fact, they are investable, whether that's fusion, quantum, supersonics, biotech, AI-driven manufacturing. The things that were once considered science fiction are attracting similar compound interest these days. And in the Liberty Ventures network, we see some incredible founders working in these spaces. And I want to encourage more of our founders to get into these areas, more investors to support these efforts, and especially to do so with companies that are staying principled, like what Elon has done with SpaceX. But what's also incredible is that SpaceX builds nearly everything in-house. It moves faster because it controls the stack. This validates a trend that I'm seeing across high-performing founders, that owning their stack, their space, means owning the pace at which they're able to innovate and develop. And of course, all of this is evidence that when markets are open, when regulators aren't suffocating invention, when founders are free to drive bold outcomes, extraordinary progress happens. So why should we keep paying attention to SpaceX and get excited about this? Because this is a an illustration of the power of capitalism as a force for good and the opportunity for investors and builders to do incredible things working together. It shows that when we back values aligned founders, they can do amazing things. It shows that having a clear vision, a purpose behind the company drives it forward. That the moral clarity that drives so many at SpaceX, making humanity multi-planetary and coming up with a strategy to do that by reducing launch costs, expanding capabilities, is a powerful ethos that defines capitalism. It shows that private enterprise can build a better rocket, launch a better system, develop a better satellite network than nation states can do because it leans into principles of real value creation, of mutual collaboration, of respect for individual agency, and the power of individuals through bottom up experimentation to do incredible things. And so it should be an inspiration for everyone to go and do more. I am incredibly excited about what's going to come with SpaceX next, what they're planning to deliver, including the fully reusable Starship operations, a lunar landing system, commercial lunar support, expansion of the Starlink network, and the first attempts to send humans to Mars. There are going to be hiccups along the way. We've all seen the videos of SpaceX explosions, crashes, failures to get to this point. But what's so exciting is that they are succeeding where others have failed and they keep pushing forward. And the leader driving it is someone who is clearly committed to capitalism and liberty, and so someone that we want to see succeed. SpaceX is proof that capitalism is a force for human flourishing, that innovation thrives outside of centralized control, that ambitious individuals can transform entire sectors, and that we can still do things that are big, meaningful, and difficult. So, to everyone in the Liberty Ventures Network, this is your reminder that the frontier is open. SpaceX is paving a path, and it is time to invest, start, and scale companies that make the world freer and more prosperous.